Hi, and welcome back to Creating a Consistent Brand. This is Lesson 4, Building a Social Media Presence with Consistency. You may have heard that content is king when it comes to social media, and really it is, because the more content you have, the more eyes you're going to have on your brand and on your product. However, the reality is, as a TPT seller, you're probably not just a TPT seller, you're also an educator, or you're a teacher in the classroom. Or you might be a spouse or a mother or a father. And so you have a lot of different roles and a lot of different hats you're wearing. So the key to being consistent with your social media is the frequency in which you post. And we'll talk a little bit later on the difference between frequency and consistency. But what I want you to do today is I want you to choose one social media platform that we talk about and decide how you can implement that into your business so you can take your brand from something very basic to something brilliant. Okay, we're going to be going over where to start because social media can be overwhelming, why consistency matters, the different platforms of social media, and some SMART goals. Now, looking at our brilliant branding blueprint, you can see we're on the building a social media presence and building consistency part of our framework. We are going to take everything we've learned from the other branding lessons and tie them into how you can use those steps to build a social media presence and build consistency within your brand. Here's some brilliant bit of info. Being persistent may lead you to the door, but consistency is the key which unlocks it. And if you can become consistent in your brand, you're going to have an audience that trusts you and that comes back to you time and time again. All right, where to start? Social media can be very overwhelming, but I want you to just pick one of the following: either Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, blog, or an email list. I want you to just pick one of these to focus on. And maybe you already have all of these going, or maybe you have one of these up and running. Whatever the case, pick a new one. Or if you already have all of them, choose one to refine and get better at, because we're always growing and we're always getting better at things in our business. So you're going to build your presence in one platform and then add another. So after we get good at one, I want you to then add a different platform, because the more you're out there, the bigger your audience is going to be. And later in this course, I'm going to teach you how to create a content calendar, which will make it a lot easier to plan your social media rather than waking up every day deciding what you're going to do. But right now, you're going to be focusing on which platform you want to get better at. And you're going to commit to posting consistently, even at first, if that's just 3 to 5 times a week. So you're going to choose one platform and just posting at it 3 to 5 times a week. Now, how are you going to post? Are you going to be doing stories, reels? Are you going to be doing it just in your feed? We'll go over all the different parts of each one of these platforms later on. Now, why does consistency matter? You need to make sure you're building consistency in your products, your covers, social media images, pins, brand, voice, social media across all platforms. Now, we've already talked about how you're going to use your brand colors and your brand fonts for your covers and for your products and things like that. But you also have to make sure that you're using those brand colors and fonts in your social media images and in your posts. You need to make sure your voice is staying consistent. We're going to focus on the social media aspect right now on how to stay consistent. But remember all those things we talked about in our brand standards and how you want to keep your fonts and your voice and your colors consistent throughout your brand as well. Now, consistency is what's going to build trust with your community and how your audience is going to come back to you time and time again. So you're going to get proficient in one platform and then add another tool to your belt. The difference between frequency and consistency is how often you're showing up for your audience, while consistency is sticking to that frequency for an extended period of time. So your frequency might be you're only doing one live video a week. But if you're going to do one live video a week, please stick to it and do it every single week. If you're going to post on Facebook 4 times a week, stick to it and post the same 4 days every week. Just choose a frequency and stick to it. Consistency is key when growing your audience and your social media platform. I also want you to plan ahead, and we'll talk about that when we get to our content calendars, but planning ahead is going to make your consistency and frequency a lot easier. Here's some brilliant bit of info. The most successful marketers become part of the lives of their followers. They grow their business and brand by involving themselves in their own communities. You're going to share your life and your business with your followers, and that's how you're going to get a successful business and something that isn't just basic, but brilliant. Now, before we dive into the different social media platforms, I want to tell you the reasons why you should have some sort of social media presence, if for whatever reason you've been resisting that. You can reach a larger audience. And in fact, you're going to find a different audience on every different platform. You're going to find a different audience on Facebook than you are on Instagram or even on TikTok. So you're going to reach a large variety of people when you're on social media. It's also less expensive than traditional marketing because it's free to use all of these accounts and all of these resources. Yes, you can do ads, but if you're using social media correctly, it's going to be less expensive than traditional marketing. You can also build relationships with your customers because you can show them your daily life and your business and behind the scene look at what you're creating and what it's like in the classroom. So it's a great way to build relationships with your audience. It's also a great place to soft sell your products because you might be talking on a live video about the 5 best tips for a writing lesson, but one of those tips might be your product and how to use it in the classroom. So just make sure that when you're on social media, you're also trying to soft sell your products. Yes, you want people to look into your life, and yes, you want them to look into certain aspects of your job so that they can get to know you as a brand and a person, but you also want to be soft selling your products and your business. It's also a great way to communicate your brand news, whether you're launching a new product or you're having a sale or you're doing a giveaway. It's a great way to let your audience know what's happening in your brand. Like stated earlier, consistency is key. So if you're a beginner, aim for posting 5 times a week to just one platform. Then begin posting to 2 platforms 5 times a week. And remember that you can recycle the content. So if you're posting it on Instagram, go ahead and post it on Facebook. You're going to have different audiences. Your audience members may overlap, but you're going to have different people too. And because of the way the algorithms work, when you post on Facebook, it's not going to show to all of your audience. Same with Instagram. So if you post on both, chances are you're going to be posting to different people. And then as you get going, you can switch things up a little bit with your content, but it's okay if all you can do is post the same image both on Instagram and Facebook. That's better than nothing. Then once you get good at posting to 2 platforms 5 times a week, you can then up it and start posting once a day all week, then multiple times a day. And for each platform, pick a schedule you can consistently keep. I like to have what's called a social recipe. When you're posting, you're going to create a pattern or a recipe you'll follow every single week. This is going to help you create your content. So here is a sample of what a social recipe might look like for Instagram. Monday, you're going to post a reel. Tuesday, a quote. Wednesday, you might post something personal to connect with your followers. Thursday, a tip or hack. Friday, a product post. And Saturday, an engagement post like a question or a game, like those this or that's, or post an emoji if you agree with this. And Sunday, you might just post anything or everything you want. But I want you to get a social recipe going so that you know, okay, every Monday I'm doing a reel. Every Tuesday I'm doing a quote. And you can keep this recipe consistent across all social media. Or here's an example social recipe for Facebook. Monday, you post about a blog post. Tuesday, a product post. Wednesday, you're going to do a live video, whether that's on your page or in a Facebook group. Thursday, you're going to post a quote or meme. Friday, you're going to post a product. Saturday, an engagement post like a question or a game. Sunday, it might be whatever you want to post, that's what you post. But I want you to keep it simple and keep those recipes something you can do and that is achievable for you. And later on, when we talk about schedules in this course, I'll talk about different schedulers you can use to post this content so you don't actually have to post every day, but it looks like you are posting every day. All right, let's dive into all the different social media platforms. Let's begin with Instagram. On Instagram, you have stories, reels, IGTV, posts, or carousels. But what is all this? Well, a story is a short video or series of videos you share with your audience, and they last 24 hours. A reel are also videos, but they last up to 1 minute with a catchy music or audio. The difference between a story or a reel is that the reel lives on the Instagram feed and in the reels forever, while the story disappears. I like to talk about my products and do fun product things on reels because I know they're going to stay there forever. I can talk about my product in stories, and I do because I can share links to it there, but I know that if I show it in reels, that tip or that hack is going to stay in the feed and can be found forever. IGTV is like Facebook Live video, but on Instagram, and it's a live video to your audience. This would be something where you would do a tutorial, a workshop, or a Q&A. It's a great way to connect with your audience in real time. And a regular IG post includes a picture, a quote, or a meme with a detailed description. A carousel is a lot like a post, but it has multiple images, and usually the images build on each other. So you might have 5 tips for writing in the classroom, and each slide is a different tip. The next platform is Facebook. And on Facebook, you can do posts, but the posts vary widely because you can post a blog post, a question, an article, a product, a video, or an image. There's so much you can post on Facebook. And you should be posting on Facebook, if that's the platform you want, at least once a day. But I would say that about any platform. They also have live videos on Facebook, and you can do this on your own page or in a group. Groups are a specific group that's just for your audience, and they come to you for an exclusive experience. So you can create a group that people join, and they can talk about your product or about your brand or whatever topic you'd like your group to focus on. Another social platform is Pinterest. And on Pinterest, there are 2 main pins that I like to focus on. I like to focus on the static pin that has nice images you've created with your product and a good title. Then this pin links back to your product on TPT or back to your blog post on your own website. Or we have a video pin that when clicked on would also link back to your product. But what's great about the video pin is it plays a video and it can have audio or music that goes along with it. Video pins are a great way to showcase your product on Pinterest. Another platform is TikTok, and you have to remember that on each platform you're going to see a different audience. TikTok is similar to Reels, and so you can create those videos on Reels and go ahead and just post them on TikTok. But when you're thinking of your audience, you're going to have a lot of incoming new younger teachers that are going to be using TikTok because that's what their audience has been used to. So you might as well, if you're making Reels on Instagram, go ahead and post them on TikTok so you can share your brand with the newer and younger generation of teachers coming in. And just like all platforms, you just need to stay consistent. I would say shoot for posting 5 times a week, and if you can, once a day. Another platform to consider is email marketing. Email marketing is a great way to connect with your audience. In fact, you have a direct link to your customers. Unlike Facebook and Instagram, when you send an email out, every single one of your audience members gets that email. Now, on Instagram and Facebook, the way the algorithm works, not everyone in your audience is going to see your post. They may not ever see your post unless you can get that engagement up really high. So what's great about email is that you have a direct link to every single one of your audience members. And I highly recommend listening to Amy Porterfield's podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, because she has some great tips about getting an email list going. And not only will will you learn great email strategies, you'll also learn great marketing strategies as well. Now for emails, I use a company called ConvertKit, but there are several different email providers out there, and you can find one that suits your business the best. All right, the next step in this lesson is to create some SMART goals. I want you to pick one social media platform you want to work on and create a SMART goal. A SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So here's an example of a SMART goal you could create. My goal is to engage with my audience by using hashtags relevant posts and stories on Instagram and see an increase of 100 new followers in the next 30 days. That goal is specific. I am saying what I want to do and where I want to do it. It's measurable, 100 new followers. It's achievable. I'm not saying 5,000 followers in 30 days, I'm saying 100. It's relevant because my business needs to be on social media and I want my brand to be seen. It's also time-bound because I'm saying this will happen within the next 30 days. Another example is, my goal is to create 2 to 3 reels a week on Instagram and see a 10% increase of engagement in the next 30 days. Now you can make your time bound however fast you want it to be. Maybe you want it to be, I want to be consistent on posting on Instagram for a week, and I will do this for 2 weeks, or I'll do this for 60 days. That is up to you. So I want you to take out your tab notebook and I want you to make some SMART goals. Make one for one platform. If you think you can handle 2 platforms, go ahead and do that. And then every time you finish that goal, go ahead and make a new SMART goal either on the same platform or on a new one. I can't wait to see what you do on social media because social media is where you are going to let your voice be heard for your audience. It's a great way to increase your frequency and consistency with your brand.